suck. That poem sucks, I'm going to discard it. You have free choice. It was a roses are red poem. It was horrible. Okay, I'll tell it to you. Ready? Here it is. Roses are red, violets are blue. Some poems rhyme. This one doesn't. I'm from Dallas, Texas. In the past 5 years, Dallas, Texas has released 22 men from incarceration due to DNA evidence overturning their convictions. Timothy Cole was an incredible young man. In 1985, he was convicted of rape. Picked out of a picture lineup. Picked out of a physical lineup. The woman described her attacker as someone who smoked continuously while he raped her. Timothy Cole had asthma so severe that if he had taken a drag off a cigarette, he would have collapsed and gone to the hospital, but he was convicted of rape. He served 14 years in a Texas prison. In 1999, Timothy Cole died. In 2010, Governor Rick Perry granted him a posthumous pardon. Timothy Cole, he served America as the anonymous black man. White America, who we are is not hidden. It's cumbersome like regret, evoking like photographs, motionless, grainy, black and white still frames, picture postcards, or lynchings. Sound in the blood, the smell of fire, fingerprints burned off bodies, hung from trees, nailed to poles, lynched like animals. Hatred, it's as silent as the things that bring it form to a stone. This is American truth, timeless, inescapable. Justice, don't need guilt. Running down a trip-back alley, pissing himself like a scared dog, Froggy James was beaten, stabbed, hung and shot, had half his burned head stuck on a stake in an Illinois city park. How many ways we gotta kill a man before we take his dignity? What's more vulgar? The hooded secret gatherings at the back roads or the picnics at the town squares. White families wearing their Sunday's best, acquire a timely hats and a revival of baseball bats. Open bellies, fresh meat sandwiches. Dragged from a courthouse just after lunch. Jesse Washington was a thick black flesh cloud of human smoke. His proper children poked his death with a curious stick. Here it is, Laura Nelson, hanging from a bridge next to her 15-year-old son. See, they accused that woman of stealing, so they raped her. Gave her salvation by letting her ripple the tips of her toes against the clandestine surface of the water. She looked so peaceful, escaping our ancestors' claws. Here it is, Mary Turner, hung upside down at 8 months pregnant, split along the gut. Here it is, like umbilical cord dangling and unwinding backbeat, but Mary's child made no sound, crushed to the heel of a boot. It knew none of begging, only the blistered voices tattered with hate, sing with the lushness of a bled-out bruise. And the Georgia backwoods, sweating with the salvation of hymnals. You can almost hear those ghosts singing the chariots. Ain't so damn sweet when you meet them running. Dirt roads gotta be cold places to die, so here it is, these photographs, picture postcards of lynching, sounding of blood, the smell of fire, fingerprints burned off body, sounding like gurgles of death, of a frost call of freedom shot through the mouth of Memphis with dreams of furnace blow. We wipe on our shirt and carry his pilgrim to a new distortion, sounding like gurgles of death, but the blood on our street, that's the coldness of our memory. So here it is, not to be forgotten, but we don't know how many people have died in this land at the hands of racist laughter. Equality muffled underneath our laughter, but the right to death is given so freely. From the 1840s, Negro men who were force-fed coke, his backs broke from long hours and no pay on the banks of the mighty Mississippi, to the way crack crumbles to stardust, and to the way to handgun freedom. 400 blind-eyed years, white folks silent, running from this drugged-up torture, not much changing. 2 out of 3 juveniles sentenced to death in this land are American children of color, not much changing. 1 in 5 black men on death row were convicted by an all-white jury, not much changing. In the great state of Texas, if you're black, you're 5 times more likely to get the death penalty for killing a person that's white. Lynch mobs, they ain't dead. They become the inalienable scales of justice. This is American truth. Hatred is as silent as those that turn their eyes to it. Silence was guilty as the fact that ain't no difference when Laura used to hang from that bridge and whatever young jail black youth you see on the news. This is America, a perverse call of freedom, like fingerprints burned off bodies, like fingers strapped to a table, like laughter singing, not much changing. Going on around here.